Suits in the 1930s were more than just clothing. They were a symbol of structure, style, and social identity. Throughout the decades, suits defined how people presented themselves in public, from everyday wear to formal occasions. Many suits were made from rayon, a newer fabric at the time that offered a sleek drape and affordability and breathability. A suit simply meant a coordinated jacket and trousers, usually paired with a hat, to complete the look. Men's suits often came in deep navy, charcoal gray, brown, and muted greens that reflected the era's understated palette. Accessories were essential. Ties added personality, pocket squares brought a touch of refinement, and hats were practically mandatory and signaled maturity and respectability. The fanciest look of the era was a crisp white shirt paired with a sharply tailored suit and a matching band, the epitome of 1930s fashion. This look is so iconic that it's part of our everyday life today. Marlene Dietrich famously wore suits in the movie Morocco, challenging expectations of how women should dress. Her tailored look became iconic and helped redefine the boundaries of fashion. Women began embracing suits as a symbol of independence and modernity. Tailored jackets gave them a sense of authority in public spaces. It was a subtle but powerful shift in how women expressed themselves through clothing. Even Shirley Temple wore miniature suits, showing how deeply the style permeated popular culture.
They're sending fresh troops every day, you know. Why, they'll be relieving Mafeking in no time at all now.
It's getting harder every day to pretend my father's safe.
Little boys often wore suits that mimicked adult styles, complete with jackets, shorts or knickerbockers, and small ties. These outfits were considered proper attire for school, church, and family outings. Women's suits in the late 1920s and early 1930s had a flat, straight silhouette that defined the era's minimalist approach to tailoring. After World War I, fashion shifted toward practicality and simplicity. Suits reflected this change with cleaner lines and fewer decorative elements. Even dresses adopted suit-like collars and structured details inspired by menswear. Older women often wore clothing with flat lines and unpinched waists, favoring comfort and modesty over the sharper tailoring seen in younger styles.
But they'll catch you.
Well, if they do, leastways I'll have the comfort of giving the ruffians a piece of my mind.
Children commonly walked to school wearing suits that mirrored adult designs. Even toddlers had miniature versions, complete with tiny jackets and matching bottoms. In reality, boys' suits were often worn hard, patched, and practical compared to the pristine versions shown in magazines. Daily life demanded durability more than elegance. Older boys frequently wore school uniforms that followed suit-like structure, emphasizing discipline and formality. These uniforms usually included a jacket, collared shirt, tie, and sturdy trousers. Jackets were added or removed depending on weather and formality. And as you watch this longer clip of older teens walking in the schoolyard, notice how their outfits blend practicality with the classic suit silhouette. A suit always consisted of a jacket, matching trousers, a collared shirt, and accessories like a tie or hat. By the mid-1930s, women's clothing adopted suit elements, structured shoulders, lapels, and tailored lines while adding a pinched waist for a feminine shape. In this longer clip of college-aged women leaving school, notice how their outfits carry clear suit influences in the jackets, collars, and structured lines. Fashion magazines promoted tailored work outfits for women, but most women wore aprons for the actual work they did at home or in service roles. The contrast shows how fashion ideals didn't always match everyday reality. Sunday church was one of the few times families dressed in their finest clothing. It was a moment to present oneself and one's children with pride and care. Military tailoring influenced women's clothing through structured shoulders, rows of buttons, and crisp lapels. This photo of a woman in Tokyo shows how suit-inspired tailoring spread internationally during the 1930s. Suits also crossed into music culture, where black male and female artists embraced sharp tailoring as a symbol of professionalism and artistry. Even in Billie Holiday's performances, you can see the influence of 1930s suit culture. The band behind her is dressed in crisp jackets and ties, a look rooted in the jazz clubs and nightlife spaces of the time.
All you old-time queens from New Orleans who live in Storyville.
The sharp tailoring embraced by musicians in the 1930s helped cement the suit as a symbol of elegance and confidence. That influence carries forward into the iconic black and white suit that we recognize today, an iconic look that represents timeless style.